presence.
Yeah.
Of course, they did have Falstad on Cursed Hollow, which is, you know, a very, very strong tool. Maybe try and get a Dahaka in there, something like that. We did see it banned in the previous series by Diamond Skin, but we'll see how it's going to develop.
Yeah, Dahaka would be wonderful here. Another one that you could think about is Diamond Skin does kind of like Chromie, mostly because of Chris.
True.
Chris plays a mean Chromie, and if you're going to play her on any battleground, this is the map that you pull her out on. She's so good at, one, delaying the altar phases, and two, just popping out so much damage that people have to walk away, heal up, you take the altar, and you shell away on the core.
It's probably one of our safest maps.
Yeah.
You think about other maps, it's like once a fort goes down, and that lane is huge, there's so much space that you can potentially be killed in.
True.
Whereas here, the lanes are always very small indeed, and there's a lot of tight crevices, etc., and things like that. But looks like we're going to see a Ragnaros ban, even though they are first pick. So, and Ragnaros doesn't excel as much on this map compared to others, but he's still very fierce with Sulfura, Smash, etc. in team fights.
Yeah, he has moments where he becomes powerful. Say you're about to go through an altar phase, but one of your teammates gets pucked off, getting Molten Core can give you the time to delay and go from there. So they're just wanting to, when they ban this Ragnaros, they're wanting to, one, do okay in the top lane, and then two, prevent themselves from actually being a scenario where if they win an isolation pick, that they get the altar instead of being delayed out.
And I guess we're not going to see any change throughout this entire series from Team Expert unless something crazy comes along, other than the Tassadar ban, because it's very clear they don't want to play against Tassadar Tracer at all, like you mentioned in that first series, and I don't see any problems with that. I think that's a great ban. You don't want to be dealing with that.
Yeah, Diamond Skin has proven again and again that they are very powerful with that combination. So taking that element away from them takes one of their pocket strategies that they have practiced and rehearsed time and time again away from them. So now we look at Diamond Skin, their first and second pick. Things that we were talking about, Dahaka could be wonderful on this battleground. You could also have ETC as a stage dive component. He helps out with the global pressure, and then we've seen them play Falstad already. Malfurion will be the first pick right away here for Diamond Skin, so getting that foundation set up.
All right, so what is Team X going to go to? Previously, we did see that Tychus being heavily prioritized. It's not been banned once again. I wouldn't mind seeing Nick play it again. I think it was good for Nick.
Yeah, it was a great pickup for him. And overall, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing all the heroes we saw in the last match, right? It just seems that they understand that they have this coordination between all 5 of those heroes where they could make the plays happen in different formats. We had portals in, we had portals out, we had mosh pits from the side, we also had Thrall showing up. Like, there's some moments there that Expert knows how to capitalize on.
I think Tychus ETC. Bad Benny was good on ETC. Nick's always good on Tychus. Get those locked in. Your support has already been chosen on the other side. You might get a little bit choked out in the second ban phase, but get those 2. I think that will be good.
All right, ETC will be picked up. Bad Benny definitely wanting to play the warrior there. And for the last 4 seconds, what will be our second hero? Medivh is taken here. Now, Medivh is, in the sense we were talking about Chromie, great at delaying the grabs there on the altars. First off, he has a portal. He can fake like they're going to go for an engage, which might get people off the altar. He also has his own arcane missiles there to bring in.
It's interesting that it just says to us that they believed that was going to be the second ban, I feel. Beyond normal, what they would go to is Tychus early on in a draft. Medivh, they felt it was going to be a second ban. They want that locked in early. They want ADRD in his comfort, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, it seems like Expert has locked in that Diamond Skin doesn't seem to play well around Leyline Seal in particular.
Yes.
And then the portals as well. You see a portal go down, and it seems like they scurry and don't do enough to stop the fight. There was never a moment where Expulsion Zone was used on an entrance on the portal, ever.
I mean, Medivh, this early on, also shuts down a good old favorite of Chris's, which is that Li Ming. And to a certain extent, it actually shuts down some of Chromie. You are able to kind of deal with that very well. There's our Dahaka. But then also at level 16 with reabsorption, easy health.
Yeah, if you're able to read that engagement's going to occur, then yeah, you can definitely get the easy help on your team. So Tychus and Dahaka now picked up. Tychus taken away here from Expert. So now Diamond Skin is in control of the whole bruiser buster, if you will, with Tychus being the one that can really just shred those tanks here. So how will Expert handle this? That's actually what I want to see. We saw Diamond Skin's approach of, let's just throw 3 tanks at him and hope it works. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. Expert on their side now will be on the other side of the court, and we'll see how they handle Tychus.
Dahaka's just, god tier. So good. Again, second favorite hero at the moment. Ragnaros first, Dahaka second, but even against Medivh, like when some a force of will is gone down on somebody, keeping them alive or whatever, still, we mentioned it before, they're not immune to CC. You can still have that drag. You can still pull them away from portals. You can still put them in a bad spot to then kill them off. So, not to mention his global potential.
Yeah, the tongue can be incredibly powerful in those scenarios. We get those 5 seconds with that cooldown still going up. You could burst someone down if you're able to finish it off at the end. So, yeah, I agree with you. Diablo will be banned out here for Expert, not wanting to deal with that massive engage that occurred. You get a Diablo to engage, throw someone behind, Dahaka falls up with the tongue. Suddenly that hero is dead, no matter what composition you have. Looking at Diamond Skin, what will be the second ban? They're thinking a bit about it. You know, the Medivh really felt like that would be banned out, but the second pick, as you were calling, really prevents that from happening. I
think, so the Tychus pickup was good because now they don't have to ban Tychus away from Nick, but then I'm thinking that they were initially, before the second ban phase came along, thinking for a support as a second ban, but because Medivh's already there, he couples up with Rhaegar or Brightwing really well anyway, so going for something like Zeratul, I think, is a much better play in this instance as the ban. You want to remove some of that potential there from, you know, absolute assassination capability.
I really feel like they're going for Chromie. The Zeratul ban really yells at me.
True.
Already ETC's on there. He's a natural counter, but as you mentioned, the smaller lanes is a thing that allows Chromie to be a bit more effective, and you don't have to deal with the stage dive. But Zeratul becomes the next major target in the second ban phase that would scare the heck out of me as a Zeratul player or a Chromie player. So it really feels like that's the route they're going to be going for. So I'm going to go ahead and toss it out there that could be the thing.
Yeah, and whilst sometimes you see Medivh used against like Chromies for, you know, when you go temporal loop as Chromie, Force of Will just negate that completely. Chris oftentimes doesn't go temporal loop. He goes, you know, for slowing sands, which he plays so well. So it could be a thing.
Slow Sands is another thing, too, that you can throw on a portal and just prevent it all from occurring. Jaina picks up, is going over to Expert here, so they're going to be able to get that potential Mosh Pit into a Ring of Frost. Also, Thrall with Earthquake gives the ability for Ring of Frost to be more effective, too. You can land that with that massive slow. So, our 4th and 5th pick. If we are looking at this, if I am a Chromie player, I want a stronger front line, so I wouldn't mean seeing another tank, especially with us having Tychus, and then finish off with Chromie.
I think you hit the nail on the head with the Thrall Jane. It's like the poor man's Zeratul. It's like, you can't lock them in place, but at least they're really, really, really slow. Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
There's no crazy timings. You can at least hit one no matter what.
Yeah.
So what will Diamond Skin pick up here? And again, like, even with Mephirian being here, the Innervate makes Chromie that much more effective. I'm totally sold on this idea. I'm trying to think of any other hero that would work in the mix-up. You could get Li Ming to a degree.
I would love Variant Taunt. What do you think?
Variant Taunt. Yeah, Variant Taunt into the Deep Breath. Falstad picked. What is our 5th hero? We'll see here. Falstad gives that global pressure, so they have Dahaka, they have Falstad, they have the Fly-In, they have the Mighty Gust, they have all these tools that are available, and it's Stitches!
Oh.
I'm so let down right now. I'm so let down.
Well, after the Falstad came out, unfortunately, I think the time had passed for dear old Chromie, but yeah, Stitches coming in, so that is going to be Hook Central. They have a lot of, you know, longer range capabilities available to them, but yeah, it's not what we fully expected.
Yeah, you get the hooks, you get the delays. Stitches, especially in the 3 altar phase, can just set up behind his fort in the top right corner on the top left corner and just hook all day and delay it. You have to actually put 2 resources there to grab that altar, which means the bottom one should be a free setup, especially with Dahaka and Falstad. And then from there, you just adapt to your opponents. They have a very good team here for dealing with 3 altar phases. So at phase 1 and phase 5, Diamond Skin's in a good position.
All right, into the swap phase now to allow everybody to allocate their heroes to one another. And, I mean, the composition from Team Expert looks not dissimilar from last game's composition, which worked out fabulously, just with the change-up of Jaina against the Tychus. And if it's Earthquake available to them to just lock down that with that Ring of Frost, I'm a little bit scared once again for Diamond Skin.
Yeah, you gotta be. And when you look at the entire team of Expert, they have solid engages. They have great fight potential whenever they drop down this Ring of Frost. They have Brightwing as well there to help out with any type of engage that could occur with those polymorphs. So overall, Expert seems to be in a much better position for team fights. I do see Diamond Skin being in a better position for altar control when things go down, just because of the global ability, and also Stitches having that hook. If there is ever a hook that pulls someone from the altar behind enemy lines, that's a free win there. You're in a 5v4.
Completely. It makes invading your opponent's top shrine location very treacherous for Team Expert. More so than the other locations, because shorter hooks before level 16, if they even want to go fishing hook. You're seeing a lot of slam builds right now at the moment. Yeah, that will be a scary spot. So the first shrine phase in particular, be careful for that one.
So a question for you. Would you go Gorge or do you go Putrid Bile here?
I like Putrid Bile more at the moment, but Gorge still has its place. I know that's a cop-out 50-50 answer. I'm going to say Putrid Bile, but Gorge is still good because you can bring them behind walls so quickly on a map like this where the lanes are so short but Putrid Bile has more team fight presence, I feel. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree with you, and to a degree, especially against Earthquake, you drop Putrid Bile, you're able to escape maybe, if you're able to slow down the opposing team from getting their hard engage. Gorge is very helpful in this map just because of the particular altar phase in the middle. You get that Q, and it's not at a point where you can actually walk behind towers, but you Gorge, and now you can walk behind it. So, yeah, there's definitely a question of what you want to go for and how the game is flowing. I think around level 9, you make that decision. I'm going Gorge. I got this. I'm feeling my hooks.
Definitely.
And if you're not quite hitting it, you go for Bile. Question for you. Who do you think is the best Stitches in all of Europe? Is this Stitches going to be better than JPL?
I think, despite Jay not having success with it in the previous series, I still think he is he's a very, very strong candidate for that first place. It remains to be seen how it's going to play out here. If it does get them the win, you never know. But one time out of like 100, JPL's proven himself quite a lot compared to, so we'll see.
All right, well, we'll see how it shakes out, man. I'm just, again, excited to look forward to more ADRD Medivh play. It feels like
ADRD.
if that guy gets Medivh in any way, shape, or form, if it's never banned out, we're going to see it for the next few weeks almost every single time. It's cool how much of a mastermind he's with it.
All right, I think we are ready, Tim.
Let's do it, man. Let's move into the draft. Game 2 between Team Expert and Diamond Skin.
All right, game number 2. And we do have spawning to the left-hand side to start things off. Once again, currently 1 game down. It is Diamond Skin. We're going to have Wolf Joe playing Malfear, and we're going to have Chris on Tyker. Sport Billy will be on Falstad. Chris Explosion on the Stitches, and finally Nande playing that Master Skin. Beautiful Dahaka.
There he is on the far right, Team Expert. We have Nick on Jaina, Bad Benny on ETC, Blade on Thrall, ADRD on Medivh, and Curson on the Brightwing. So here we go into the matchup. We're going to see how our teams will be handling the fight here in the middle. Just wondering if we're going to get a Stitches hook right off the front. Usually you see teams sit and play passive.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit of a slower start here for Team Expert. Going up against Chris Blood. Look how far he's gone forwards there as they try and look for a potential hook, but I don't think they'll get one just yet.
All right, watching out for it. It sounds like the hook actually went out. And just for you at home, what are the keys to victory here for Team Expert? Let's talk about that. Expert, they have fantastic draft patterns. All they have to do is draft their power duos, be good to go, make sure they keep Diamond Skin away from their power duos, and it feels like since they're so favorable here and they're such a good team that they can pull out any victory. That's
why we saw that Zeratul ban coming out. They knew there was always the potential for Zeratul Jaina to come along on the side there of Team Expert, so Diamond Skin would take that away from them. There's a lot of damage going on towards Nande there, and he will fall as first blood. Dahaka, he's a sustainable guy, but not that sustainable.
Yeah, you usually can orchestrate that engage because, Primal Aggression being picked, they're going to be pushing that wave, especially when they hit W. So the moment they saw that W occur, they ran straight up there and got that pick off. Great job by Expert. Usually the top lane is solid pickings, but you got to be careful. You got to watch out for the rotation in the middle.
A little bit of a lull for the moment here in the game. Did you guys know out there that it has been 5 years since me and Trixler have cast together?
Back in the day, man.
Back in the day.
We're so old now. Those were the times, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in StarCraft.
Back in StarCraft, man. That's where we met.
Yeah. Fun times, fun times.
Well, ETC is meeting up with Chris Explosion right now. Bad Benny coming in with the power slide. Will try to go for the hook. Sadly, it does miss. ADRD, though, there with the support.
Not too bad, not too bad. He will always be scouting out things at the front. It almost feels as if Malfear has to take the scouting drone at level 1 just to equal the odds of how annoying that bird is.
The scouting drone will provide a lot of vision. Interesting to know how they are setting up. We actually have False in the top left corner. We have Thrall, ETC, and Jaina just positioning around the middle. That way, if they have to, they can rotate. And watch Chris Explosion here. He's going to be key around this altar phase.
Yeah, absolutely love that setup. Better setup there for Diamond Skin than Team Expert because Falstad could fly down easily if needed compared to Thrall, who would have to walk down. So there is the potential that they seize this opportunity and get themselves a slight lead here.
Falstad flies down as Thrall goes for the engage, so they want to make sure they grab this altar. Wolf Joe is going to start channeling here. ETC, though, will try to slow it down. Benny does walk in, and we actually have the altar not being grabbed. They got him off of there. Wolf Joe, once again, attempting to go for it. And right now, the main thing for Expert is to just try and slow this down. They don't want the ultra to go away while Thrall tries to push top lane, and Thrall did that, and you now see a slight experience lead in the favor of Expert.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that's very good on Team Expert side for why they can slowly deny those things for a little bit longer is because of level 1 Jaina. The fact that she has a little bit more range on her Frostbolt, and this has been pretty much the go-to build for a while now for Jaina. And level 7, I should say, sometimes makes that the potential for a machine gun Frostbolt build, which can be very scary.
Yeah, especially against Double Warrior. That's where I like it the most. You're just queuing through, getting that Pierce happening. Bad Benny will be saved here by the Force of Will, but goes to the top left. Can he get out? The portal just a tad late there. Bad Benny picked off by all of Diamond Skin, and I like seeing the aggression here. It's needed going into game number 2. Diamond Skin isn't really thinking about their loss in game 1. They're just focusing on playing the game right now.
And some people out there who maybe don't play Medivh as much could be saying, oh, I was at the portal a little bit earlier. You do have to consider where your exit portal is going to be. And sometimes as Medivh, you can be too close to the fight to say, oh, I can't throw it down just now, because they'll just turn around and go on him anyway. So yeah, maybe a slower position there for ADRD.
As we move towards level 7, the gap has been closed slightly here by Diamond Skin, almost about to hit level 7. Talent's being picked up, and we're going to see if Jaina's going to go for this machine gun build. Yes, she does. Pew, 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 indeed. Again, great against a Double Warrior. You're starting to break down the front line. Maybe you hit someone in the back line, like a Falstad or maybe even a Tychus, and you just slowly burn down those health and go for that Ring of Frost engage. The next Ultra Phase should be spawning soon, so the main priority for our teams, push out these lanes, get vision, and make sure you can rotate.
Don't worry, man. If you need any onomatopoeia at all, I'm here to make the sound effects for the game. If the sound goes out on stream, don't worry, I'll make every sound for you. No, wait, don't hold me to that. That's a bad idea.
Blizzard, please let us buy a Kalaris voiceover kit for all our kills and such. Ultra Phase is now here in the next 15 seconds. I'm watching Dahaka here. He should be pushing that top lane right now. He is doing so, and everyone else is setting up down here in the bottom left. We have Chris Explosion leading the charge. ADRD, though, having the vision for his team to move in.
All right, so let's see how they're going to rival this location at the moment. You're seeing Tychus at level 7 actually going for Concussion Grenade, which is a little less common, but it will increase the knockback distance by 100% from that grenade. A lot of damage going on towards Dahaka, though, at the moment. He will burrow himself away, use his trait to get himself nicely healed up, and it pushes Expert back for now.
I do want to commend Curson there in that engagement. He was in a situation where he could have been picked off by Dahaka with Nande coming in. He actually brush-stalked his way down there so Falstad and him could pick him off, but Curson played that so well, kited to his team, set him up for an engage, and now they're in a scenario where they're actually getting a 4-for-4 trade. So nice job by Curson overall in terms of positioning and having the heads up not to get picked off.
Team Expert so far isn't doing too bad a job of avoiding those hooks. There was that one previously where Bad Bunny did end up falling, but ADRD, the tricky little fella, just looks for those shots and jumps right back through his portal.
All right, so back into it. The next Ultra Phase should hit around level 10 automatically. Blade is in the top lane, getting that push happening, and it feels like Expert already are doing such a good job of controlling the map. Every time I look at it, their side of the map is painted red, and they're already starting to encroach on the opposing team. Yeah,
you should be looking here for this game in particular, guys. When it comes to Diamond Skin, they have two very strong globals. Brightwing is a global, yes, but Falstad and Dahaka have a lot more pressure behind them. They can push faster. So, in theory, they should be one dictating a lot of the pace of this game, but at the moment, Team Expert hasn't given them huge amounts of room.
Yeah, they haven't. They've been really just squeezing them out. Also with the Mercenary camps being grabbed, you force Diamond Skin to come down the bottom left, which allows for you to move into the top maybe and get a pick on Dahaka. In fact, you see ETC doing that right now. Bad Benny is here, but Nande is playing as well. He's playing safe, and he's not doing anything to overextend that lane, especially when they're at a 10-9 deficit.
Yep, gotta be careful. Mosh Pit, we have Earthquake, Ring of Frost, and that's gonna be Leyline Seal, and finally Blink Heal coming in here for Team Expert, as Nick just pokes away at Sport Billy. Not too much structural damage done on either side. A tower here or there, a gate gone down, but all the bell towers still nice and healthy.
I like to play from Diamond Skin. They're in the bottom left grabbing the Mercenary camp. You don't actually have to grab this right now. You're mostly trying to do this when the Ultra Phase pops up.
Yeah.
Nick and Bad Benny, though, are looking for Nande. Will he get out? He uses the E. I like Bad Benny's fate there, but not quite enough. He tried to fake the engagement. That way they could bait out the E and then go for the power slide, but slightly off, unfortunately, and great play up Heads up from Nande.
The early cancel of the burrow from Nande was the thing that really shook Benny a little bit by the looks of things. And then the attempt at a failed power slide didn't go so well.
One of the biggest buffs of Dahaka, being able to cancel that E out and have those mind games, the small mind games happen. All right, so 2 Ultra Phase. Brightwing is in the bottom lane, soaking and pushing in the lane. Could get pressure on that fort. Dahaka's already in the top left, so positioning is important here for Expert.
And Dahaka can burrow forwards if he needs to. It's actually going to be Gorge in this team fight, in this fight right now, and Commandeer Odin. So expect them to try and set up fights to later, like, expect Tychus to be in bushes trying to set up a fight, because you can't just pop it mid-fight. It really doesn't go that well. You've got to have wind-up time.
Yeah, you got it for sure. And the resistance too can be wonderful, especially when you're dealing with a Thrall. Just enough to keep you alive for a little bit longer while you're working in that damage. So we do have Bad Benny going for a flank. Chris is a little bit out of position. The power slide comes out. There is a force of will. Cleanse is used. Can they save him? Earthquake coming out as well. Blade trying to get him in. Chris Explosion is going to devour for some health and drop the Thrall into the fort. The ley line seal, though, the fort and the Odin is just enough. Here comes Ring of Frost. We do have Falstad taking damage. Can ETC be taken out? Bad Benny low on HP. Odin trying his best. There's 2 takedowns, and Diamond Skin makes a fight work out to their favor.
2 for 1 overall. That was a really cool little play, even though Sport Billy sacrificed himself during that. His gust to make sure that the Gorge to then throw it down next to the bell tower, it was just enough to secure that kill, and it went their way. That was cool stuff.
That it was, and a heads-up play by Chris Explosion, making sure to get just enough health, grab the Gorge, pull that Thrall back into the fort. Overall, solid team fight from Diamond Skin and a great 2-for-1 trade. Now, they take this advantage and they start pushing down the bottom lane, getting turrets here. They want to get to that level 13 on even footing with Expert. At the same time, though, Dahaka's in the top lane, brawling with Thrall. Falstad's going to fly in and try and help out with Thrall. Blade, did he overextend? Here comes Curson. Can he use a polymorph from Falstad? He does, but too little, too late. Now 1 member taken out. Curson trying to escape, should be able to get away, but I like the play to try and save his Thrall.
Thank God he had Blink Heal.
Yeah, right?
And that's going to be a mosh pit as well here. Unfortunately, can't be interrupted. No Twilight Dream there available for him, but there's not that much damage follow-up. Only Jaina there available with a bit of Medivh help. And it will be Jaina falling a little bit unexpectedly in that fight.
Yeah, Diamond Skin turning it around. We didn't have a Ring of Frost for a good 3 seconds, and that's a majority of the burst that becomes available for Jaina.
Yep. 1,
because she hits it, and 2, because she's able to line up Qs perfectly.
Yes.
So, unfortunately not there for about 5 seconds. Diamond Skin takes full opportunity of that mosh pit that just did not be as coordinated as they wanted. Turn it around, get an altar, and now 28-20.
Yeah, it feels like for Diamond Skin, they've instilled this particular game with an air of chaos. There's fights going on here, there, and everywhere, and even in some of these team fights, there is a bit more craziness about it. It seems that they're thriving on it, and yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, they really are thriving here and getting the momentum. Now, there is something to note. Medivh has finished Master's Touch, so that power spike is available for ADRD. So they do have lots of damage here if he's laying those Qs, and as well as Jaina being able to help out. Now, we do have some floating around the bottom right. ADRD has scouted the Stitches, so watch out for the hook. Everyone from Expert should move to the middle lane and soak this experience. It's the main important thing, but that opens up an opportunity here for Diamond Skin to grab these mercs.
Yes, it does. The bell tower's still all standing on either side here. Global's helping out, like, as Brightwing tries to de-push Dahaka up towards the top. ADRD sees all that, but they're not going to really challenge for it. Bad Benny is moving into position, though, down towards the bottom. He was looking for maybe a fight, but the roots will stop him from doing anything.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Chris Explosion and the crew really wanted to actually get into a fight there. They waited around for a bit, knew that ADRD was floating there. ADRD could have used the ley line of seal to maybe grab that, and that could have initiated a fight, but then again, it's not really that valuable. I think it was more of the point that they wanted to get into an engagement. Here comes Blade, though, as he engages, drops Wind Fury on Chris Explosion.
Very glad to always just see the roots going down, even if the hook doesn't land. Just in case you catch someone, it's not that big of a commitment to try, at least. But Blade took a lot of damage from Chris there. Chris on this Tychus has caused them a lot of headaches. Even with Commandeer Odin, did a lot of damage in that previous engagement towards mid. Oh!
There's a hook into the root. Here is ETC. Bad Benny will hit him as well. Chris got a little bit of that minigun on top of him as well, take him down to about half health, which is instrumental as you move into this next phase. 16-15, and Expert is still 3/4 away from the experience to be on even footing.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Diamond Skin is making a meal out of this one and trying to put themselves in a good spot. Now, Dahaka is going to be the one committed to taking the top shrine. Well, Bad Benny has seen this. They may try and invade, but the entire team here of Diamond Skin is looking to commit to the 2 at the top.
There's a hook on Gerson. Gorge is available. Didn't quite get Brightwing, though. The Pixie Dust allowed for her to retreat. There's the Gorge, though, on Thrall. Thrall still has Earthquake. Will he use it? Pops it out. There's the Force of Will, and they portal out thanks to ADRD. Now Chris, using Odin, is going to start kiting in.
Dahaka came in at the back there, and now it looks like Team Experts realizes they can't fight, but that's going to be a great hook in towards that route as well, as they get themselves the pick off. And that means now Nanda's going to secure that one. Fly towards the bottom for Sport Billy, and I think Blade should be able to deny that for a moment, but he's got to be careful if anybody else rotates on around.
The good news is Sports Billy can actually float around for a little bit because Dahaka's already pushing the top lane. Middle lane's getting pushed in as well. When he needs assistance, he can call for it, and the rest of Diamond Skin will move down. There is a very strong possibility that Diamond Skin is going to grab all three of these altars, and they do.
So good.
They are ahead 28-8 in score, Kalaris.
That's the power of globals, my friend. Not only those long distances that we saw Falstad actually fly to the bottom, but also Dahaka capturing that top left shrine to then burrow in behind the top right shrine and cause all sorts of chaos while that little fight was going on at the front. It's hectic.
Yeah, hectic is definitely the word to use here. Expert now is in a scenario where they have to watch both the boss, and they also have to watch for any pushes that can go their way, and they also have to watch out for Chris Explosion and his hooks here. Gorge is up once again. All four members do move in for a play, and I like this aggressive play here from Expert. They burned Stitches from the ground.
Yeah, that was nicely done by them, trying to get themselves back into this at the moment, looking for some pressure on towards Nande. Don't quite land anything. The concussive grenade from that level 7 talent pushing back against them for the moment. And can they make anything happen from this? By the time he's back up, the shrines will probably, you know, start winding up, and then they'll still be 5v5.
Something to note is that Blade actually did go for an Earthquake there, but it was interrupted by Chris, which allowed for Dahaka to walk away from the fight, skate free. Now, this fort is being taken away. This is a huge win here. Here is Earthquake, though, from the portal. Can they get a pick on Nande? No. He tunnels away from the fight. Earthquake has been used, but they do get a fort, so not a bad use.
Yeah, absolutely needed to capitalize on the fact that they killed off Stitches there. Your opponents have much less of a front line. You've got to make something happen, especially since there was no shrines up. Now one will pop. And are they going to look for a little bit more damage here or there, or are they just going to kind of contest this?
Yeah, Expert has to be happy that this is only one altar. You can put all your resources in this area, and you don't have to deal with the shenanigans that global pressure brings. At the same time, we did have pressure on the top right from Falstad, so we got that fort low, but he did not kill it off. So it still will be a 5-point here from Expert if they get it. Chris Explosion goes for the Gorge. He does pick up a member. He's going to pull on back. Portal is available for Bad Benny. Can he get to it with the Force of Will? Does he get out? The Twilight Dream goes off, but it's not enough. Bad Benny gets away, and suddenly Falstad is in trouble in the back right. Chris is being picked off. No, Sports Billy's getting picked off. He is taken out of the game.
Yeah, that was nicely done, realistically. The position that we saw ETC in that bush, just below where he was there for a moment, they didn't know about it, so a little bit flustered by his appearance and gorging him to try and kill him off with the portal potential there from Medivh. Oh my god, that hook!
That hook, Jaina gets picked, but the Force of Will into reabsorption, back to full health. Here's the ley line of Seal. Here's a Ring of Frost. We have Malfurion in trouble. He will be using the Ice Block to get out, so Wolfjo is saved, but not the Stitches. And now 2 members taken out for Diamond Skin, and Expert sees a comeback amongst the horizon.
Yeah, they do. Not too bad at all. 44 seconds before Stitches is up and about at any time. Dahaka is going to be trying to push up the top lane, get themselves in a good position in terms of experience, because right now, Team Expert has seized back a little bit of that momentum, got themselves back in the race to 20.
And they have Mercenaries pushing down the bottom left, which forces Wolfjo and Chris to sit here and try to burn off those Mercenaries so they don't take any damage to the core. In fact, they're going to pop Odin here to make sure they defend it. At the same time, Brightwing and Thrall are in the top lane looking to get a pick on Dahaka. Dahaka went to go for the fort. Let's go ahead and look in the top lane here as Dahaka's trying to escape. Earthquake has been popped. Kurson uses Polymorph. Nande trying to walk out. Adaptation has been used. He gets the full heal. He is going to tongue Blade, but Blade showing up. Here's Source Billy to help out. Nice Gus, and Nande gets away. Kurson in trouble, but with the blink heal, he'll be able to escape.
Now, it was an expensive to use the Gust and as well as the adaptation, but we did see Earthquake used to try and secure that kill as well. So trade for trade overall, I think for Diamond Skin, a very good save because they were gaining experience drawing all of that and then pushed themselves back in the race. in front to 20.
And the fort was taken for Diamond Skin on the top right, which alleviates some pressure on this bottom left so they can take back their fort, and we're back to a 4-on-4 scenario because we have Expert grabbing this. Now, there is level 20 right above here for Expert. They should be able to grab this with 1 minion wave soaked. Altars have now spawned, and luckily it is 1 altar again.
Big red button, my friend. It's time to drop those nukes, as we will see Commandeer Odin being used to full effect here by Chris in moments time, because every single altar or every single shrine is so important now for Team Expert.
That's right. We're going to watch HGC and Thrall here. They both have Bolt here, so they can make some plays. Power slide onto Chris. Chris is trying to burn down Bad Bidding, taking some decent damage here. Wonderful body blocks. There goes an ice block here from Jaina. Jaina low on HP. There goes a massive Ring of Frost and Leyline Seal, though. Malfurion's going to be focused down. Malfurion dies. Wolfjo taken out. Chris dead as well.
Blink.
The Bolt on the Sports Billy. He does escape anyway, but still 2 members taken out for Diamond Skin. A third now. Chris Bojan trying to make a play, but unfortunately not quite working out. In fact, it's going to turn into Bad Binny making his own play.
Oh, no.
Going for the engagement. Chris Bojan uses Hardened Shield. Will he be taken out? He does.
Oh, so good here for Team Expert. That is going to give them massive momentum. They have a good 40-second window now where they can start killing off almost every single bell tower. You can see they're not even going to that shrine. They know they can get more shots, more value from this.
Yeah, they should be able to take 2 forts here. Grab the one on the bottom left, move to the middle here, and then grab the altar and get a little bit of value out of there, especially if they keep an eye on those timers in the top left.
That's very, very important here. I can't believe how well they're able to come back into this game.
Gotta agree.
At this point, once again, that team fight was chaos. This entire game has been chaos, but almost controlled chaos here in these later stages.
Brightwing grabs the altar, and there will be 6 shots sieging upon Diamond Skin's core. Now there's only 1 lone ult or fort in the top left available for Diamond Skin. They need to start working the other forts back into their favor, and we see we have all of Expert rotating. Now, the thing they're watching right now is to see how many people are in the bottom left to deal with that fort. If they see Malfurion or Tychus, heroes that have no globals, down the bottom left getting the fort, they take the boss. They saw Malfurion, they grab the boss, 4 more points awarded to Expert.
All right, well, that will be boss gone. Nicely done. They even took Medivh cheats. Oh, I can't wait. That is lovely. So we are going to see potentially the ley lines here redirected in some of these team fights to try and catch the prime targets that he wants. And, well, at least they've cleaned up all the bell towers, but it's definitely not over yet.
13-8 right now. Overall, I would say this game is becoming even for our teams. It's going to come down to the last couple of team fights. The Leyline Seal with that level 20 Medivh cheats is particularly strong around the altars on the top left and the top right. There's nowhere for you to move if you do the angle correctly, if you break it around the bush area. So something to watch out for, especially with the next altar phase spawning, how strong Medivh cheats will be.
And I know there's no hook available now, as it did hit one of those sappers, so unfortunately for Diamond Skin, they couldn't really rival that position for the moment. And that is 2 sapper camps about to hit this location. Diamond Skin's got to be careful.
I'm watching Fallout here. I feel like Sports Billy is going to be the playmaker that Diamond Skin needs if Chris Bojan's not able to hit these hooks. A Mighty Gust in this scenario could throw them into the back phase here, so Expert needs to be careful.
Yeah, definitely. You're right on the money there, because any kind of epic mount into Gust, if they go anywhere near that kill zone, that's not what you want happening. So make sure you're not going too far when it comes to these bell tower locations.
Yeah, luckily for the team ADR Diaz here, if he plays reserved, he can definitely save them with that. Mighty Gust into the back line, but it's still something to think about. We are tied.
We are tied.
8-8, Colaris.
Ooh, all right. They have clawed their way back about 15 shots back into this. Team Expert, if they come out with the win here, that might be extremely demoralizing for Diamond Skin going into the next game. Diamond Skin needs to win this game, I feel, to get some momentum back. That's going to be a nice Bolt of the Storm and Earthquake potential as Nande comes in towards the back here to try and secure a kill.
Sports Billy going for the play, just not working out with Blade having that Bolt, and now there's a turnaround here on Nande. Earthquake is here, and Dahaka is just destroyed.
The burst potential from Jaina. I used to joke like a year and a half ago how Jaina was like one of the best melee assassins in the game. Do you remember when she would just bolt in and combo you and kill everything off? And she didn't even need to have bolt in there, because she doesn't have it anymore, of course. But she just exploded Dahaka with that.
A flanking Jaina is definitely one of the scariest things in the game, but here is a hook. ETC is here. I'm watching ADRD. Can he get the portal off and the force of will? He gets it, and he saves Bad Benny. Nice job there here, and we're going to have all 5 members still alive for Expert.
I love it. You know, not only the force of will, it even had reabsorption, so he got healed up during all of those shots. I love it. I love it, Trixler.
Bad Benny and ADRD confirm best friends for life here with ETC and Medivh just making these plays. And they keep up with the mercenary camps. They have their mercenaries from the right pushing in already. More will be joining them as they take them away. Here's another hook into a force of will. The ley line sealed though, and Medivh gets a 3 on the back right corner here. Can they make a play? He goes for the power slide behind the wall here. The force of wall, the ring of frost. Tyke is eliminated from the fight, and here comes mercenaries to beat down on the core. They're going down to 2 health.
I cannot believe what I just watched. The coordination from Team Expert. You wonder why I pick them as one of my biggest wildcards, one of the biggest people to make upsets in this tournament? That is why, Trixler.
You are convincing me, man. I would look at the replay, but we have 2 altars spawning right now. This is game point for Team Expert if they get 1. Diamond Skin has to get both of these. They only have 4 members. Crisplosion is getting poked down. Blade in the bottom left with Earthquake. Crisplosion has popped. Hardened Shield. Can Nick get a kill here? He bursts the stitches.
And Team Expert now really on the warpath. So Spot Billy going to end up going down. So is Wolf Joe. It's going to be a full team wipe. Team Expert recovers from 23 shots to 8. They take these 2 temples and they will take the game. Trixler, what a game we just witnessed.
What a comeback. Team Experts remain composed in the late game. Even with fantastic hooks and gorges happening, they still walk away. Again, Medivh being the key player in that scenario. In fact, we have a replay of that last fight here. If I ever see an ETC on my team in Hero League dive into that area, I'm going to throw a fit. But Expert, they can get away with it, man. Let's check it out here. Watch the coordination. Ley line seal, bolt into power slide. There goes the mosh pit. Force of will is there. Nick hits the ring of frost. Chris gets blown up. Granted, they only took 1 person out there, but that was flashy. Did you say get out?
He gets